Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome
All right.
to the stream. Welcome to the happy hour, the happiest hour of the week.
Yeah, you nailed the getting us all on the screen at the same time.
Yeah.
I've worked it all
Worked it
out.
out.
I've become a pro over the last 9 streams, and I've realized I can
Nice,
actually add us in while the video is playing, and then we'll just like swap out when it's finished, which is very cool. Very
Excellent.
professional setup we have
Nice.
here at the happy hour studios. Yeah. How is everyone?
Doing
Who's,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got Anthony Campolo here. Anthony Joseph
Nice.
Campolo, who is who I just went on FS Jam with. So it's excellent to see you here. Yeah, 9th time is a charm. Absolutely. Whereabouts are you joining us from, Anthony? And where's everyone else joining us from in the world? And what silly time of the day or night is it for you?
What's FS Jam? Is it a podcast?
Yeah,
I have to say, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
FS Jam is in fact
not
a podcast.
crossed my radar. So I have
We
to
can
get a listen to it.
Yeah, we can pull this up right now. Look at all this extra promotion you get by joining the happy hour stream.
If you like podcasts, then I've got a podcast for you. All right, I'll go and subscribe right now. How about that?
FS Jam, nice.
So this is FS Jam, which is full stack Jamstack, which is all about all of the tools that you can use around building full stack / Jamstack apps or full stack Jamstack apps. I started listening to this podcast a very long time ago. I think episode 3 was when I started listening to it. And I was very excited because it was coming out of the the Redwood kind of community, which I think Anthony was a official DevRel, unofficial DevRel, some kind of doing stuff for Redwood at the time. So yeah, it was very cool. And he's already had Paul and Ant on the podcast prior to me. So
nice.
go and subscribe now, and in a couple of weeks.
I don't know if my thing says following.
Nice.
Nice.
So
nice.
we're on.
1 extra follow. I was unofficial until around episode 10 or something. Okay, right. And we have, there we go. Wembo is joining us, just in case we have any real-time issues.
Well, he's saying blame me because we had quite a long call yesterday about me causing some issues in the client libraries. But, you know, it's all pre-release. I haven't actually broken anything yet.
Nice, so, as long as you haven't broken Happy Chat. Otherwise, we would definitely be hearing about it. The Twitter spheres would be blowing up about us breaking the best chat app that's ever been created.
Flutter would still work, right?
Yeah, Flutter would still work. Haven't been anywhere near those client libraries.
I guess we should say who we are. So I'm Jon. I'm a developer advocate from Supabase, and I get to hang out with these two every week and build cool stuff with Next.js and Flutter, and hopefully in the future Remix and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, and I'm Tyler, and I'm also a DevRel here at Supabase, and I mainly work on the Flutter side of things, but I also enjoy web technology like Next.js or Solid.js. So yeah, it's me.
And finally, I'm Alaister. I'm technically on the front end team, but I seem to be trying to get a bit of everything, which is a lot of fun, if I'm honest.
It's amazing.
We're here every week building some cool apps. I think this will be our last
Flutter episode, hopefully.
Flutter episode, or even Happy Chat episode.
No, not hopefully. It's been been awesome, but I think it's just we're going so quickly that it's
too fast. Only 9 episodes.
Yeah. Took us like 7 episodes to build the Next.js side, and now just 2 episodes to
2 episodes for the Flutter.
All the Flutter, heavy lifting has been done. So thanks to Supabase, we have a nice backend. So
that's true.
But if you've got any ideas for apps, DM us on Twitter for our next lot. We're always on the lookout.
Absolutely. And so the kind of theme for this series for the last 9 videos, or there was a special one with couple there in the middle, but for 8 videos, I guess, of this series, we've been building out a real-time chat application called Happy Chat. Actually, I could even bring it up. I can share my screen again. Look at
I suppose
this.
I should get on it as well, so I can actually send you a message.
Oh yeah.
So we have Happy Chat, the most beautiful real-time chat application that exists. I am logged in as Thor. Why can't I see any rooms? It's already broken. Oh no, there we go. Okay, Alaister didn't break the didn't break the rooms yet.
Do you want to give it a zoom? Yeah, nice.
All right, and
Read
if
my
I
mind.
go into, yeah, there's that beautiful overflow that we haven't fixed.
Real
well, I
happy?
can just create a new room and
Oh,
say
okay.
the coolest room, and then if I invite Alaister
Tyler
and
too?
say hello, and Tyler as well. Oh, Tyler 2. Are we
Yep.
Tyler 2 or Tyler 3 this week?
Tyler 2 this week. I
Okay, we've
remember my
remembered the
password.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
This is indeed the coolest room. And so, yeah, we've got this real-time
Nice.
chat application. So this is our Next.js version. And then in the last week's stream, we started building the Flutter app and got surprisingly far. We thought that we would be spending another 7 videos or so on Flutter, but turns out either Flutter is really easy to develop in, or Tyler's just really, really good. And yeah,
or both.
or both.
It's the magic of Supabase and Flutter, right? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we've built a Flutter version of this, but the overall goal was to reuse the same Supabase backend. So far, I don't know if this will change during this stream, but so far we haven't actually touched the Supabase backend to be able to implement the Flutter application. So we built out the Supabase backend to support the Next.js app, and then we wanted to build a multi-platform application that was backed by the same Supabase instance. And so I think we've managed to do that so far, which is very, very cool.
It's working great.
So yeah, what else has been happening? Oh yeah, in sad news, last week we were being very quiet about it, but my team, Celtics, the good team, and Tyler's team, Golden State Warriors, were going up against each other in the very last final game 6 of the NBA Finals. And who won, Tyler?
Golden State Warriors, as always.
Sad very, very sad times.
And I'm going to chime in on this conversation by saying I know nothing about basketball.
Well, that's fine, because that's all about the sad hour, but this is the happy hour, so we don't need to talk about it.
We're not talking about it. Tyler might want to talk about it.
It's been happy for me. Yeah.
No. Tyler's not allowed to talk about it. We are also, I think, maybe going to move the time next week. Actually, yeah, in the chat, let us know where you're coming from and if this actually is a super convenient time for you, because I think we're going to move it a little bit earlier, because it might be a bit hard for our US friends to join us, and so we might just have an extra early happy hour each week, and maybe just start drinking at breakfast time.
The theme is it's happy hour somewhere.
It has to be happy hour somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In fact, we should work out. I think we were talking about this last time. Does New Zealand have the very first happy hour? Is there like an island somewhere off in the water?
I'm sure there's an island, but
yeah, we'll find
the island. The most populous.
We'll find the place where the first happy hour is and just claim that we're doing it for their time zone, and then it's fine.
It's nice.
And we have Gerald joining us from the Philippines.
Nice.
Awesome. So that probably wouldn't be too unreasonable a time in the Philippines. I'm going to guess maybe like 11 a.m., maybe 12, somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I guess Philippines is between Melbourne, Australia, where Alaister and I are, and Japan, where Tyler is. Yeah. So probably not too inconvenient a time. What about for you, Anthony? Is it oh, you're in NYC, so it's like midnight, isn't it? Oh,
that's tough.
It's Thursday night. Go to bed. You go to work tomorrow. It's crazy.
Gerald, 11 a.m.
11 a.m. in the Philippines, so not too bad.
So yeah,
but yeah,
another hour.
Oh, easy. Yeah, you got heaps of time. Only 11:14 p.m. So yeah, we might move it a little bit earlier so that it's a little bit more convenient for our American friends. But yeah, we're still working that out. So we'll watch our Supabase Twitters for the new time, or us just sticking with the same time. We'll see. What else happened this week? I am already sharing my screen. So I put out an article, actually, just to show what Matterday actually is. We were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, but Matterday is a Netlify project where basically by using Netlify, you get a day back a week by not needing to manage all of your deployments and things. And so this is a project where Netlify want you to think about what you actually would do with that extra day a week. So you can scroll through and see all the awesome parallax scrolly effects that they have built, or Lynn Fisher has built for this landing page, which looks awesome. And then when you get to the bottom, you can sign in. So if we're not signed in, we can log in with GitHub, and we can do a happy hour stream.
Nice.
I might just say happy hour stream. And it generates this shareable image. So if I was to tweet this, then it would look nice. But I've tweeted it enough times. I'm sure people are sick of seeing me doing this in testing. So yeah, super cool project. But I wrote an article about how I actually built the Supabase backend. So I recommend you go and check that out. It's full of basically everything that I've learned from Alaister and Tyler by doing this series. So yeah, it's a good one to check out. I also yesterday did this live stream.
Oops.
Muted. Tech problems. Great. I'll fix that soon. Speaking of tech problems, yesterday I did this live stream where I was muted for the first 17 minutes and 45 seconds. So if you want to go see a whole bunch of silence of me, you should have heard the jokes that I put in this section. I was killing it. It was the best. Like
I'm sure you were, Jon.
And
I'm
40
sure you were.
I've ever streamed. It was incredible. And then yeah, at about 17 minutes and 30 seconds, Tyler joined me to let me know that I had been muted for that whole time, and that no one had heard any of my excellent jokes. So I basically pulled it, rewound all the way back, and started again at 17 minutes and 45 seconds. So if you do watch the stream, make sure you skip forward to 17 minutes and 44 seconds. But during this stream, even with the 18 minutes or so of dead time, I still managed to rebuild the entire Supabase backend that powers that Matterday project by Netlify. So I recommend you go and check that out. Another cool thing that came out
just
not this
before
week,
we move on,
yeah.
Anthony's pointing out something quite funny. Your mic died yesterday. Today it looks like it's your camera.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see what's happened here.
You're just a pulsing dot.
It's completely gone as well. Like the cam link is completely off. There is, in the settings, there is no camera to select. Really? It's properly dead. So I
wonder what's up with your cam link, because I've got a cam link as well, and I've never had a problem with it.
I reckon it's that thing that you told me where you bought like a frame that sits around your cam link or around your camera, so it doesn't like pull down on the USB. And I think mine is just pulling down on the USB constantly. So I will get that fixed up soon. Nick Taylor had a stream recently where he was talking about something on his screen while not sharing his screen for about half of his stream. So it's not just me. There are other people that also can't get their tech problems sorted, which is very good to know. Oh, wait, hang on.
Oh, is it going to come back?
Nice. I did it much faster this time. That one only took about 5 minutes. But yes, another awesome thing that came out didn't come out this week, but came onto my radar this week, was this article by Vijit on LogRocket. And it's talking all about using edge functions in Supabase. So a feature that we launched recently where you can create serverless functions running at the edge, so running at different CDN nodes around the world. And this guide is, an awesome way to learn everything there is to know about edge functions in just 5 minutes. So I highly recommend that you go and check that out. So what are we building today, Tyler?
Yeah, so we are continuing on with our Flutter application of Happy Chat. So if I go ahead and share my screen, let's go over what we did.
Yeah, that would be good. I can't remember where we got to last week. We basically did the whole app.
Feels like it, right? But yeah, there's quite a bit of work to be done. So this is where we at right now. Once we open the app, we are directly taken to the rooms screen. No matter even if we are not logged in. So that's something we have to fix. If we are not logged in, I think it would make sense for us to redirect the user to the register page. But once you're logged in, you'll see this rooms page, and you can actually click or tap into it and see a bunch of messages in that room. So this part is working, but there's no way to actually submit a new message within this within this chat page. So that's another thing we might want to work on. And I briefly mentioned that there's a way, once we are registered within this app, we have to click a link that's sent to our email address to verify our email address, right? And Alaister was almost gonna suggest to turn off the verification, but there's a way to bring those users back into the app automatically using deep links to bring the users back into the app. So we will set that up as well, and hopefully it works out. I guess I haven't tested it with a simulator, so maybe it doesn't work with a simulator. We'll see. We'll find out.
That is awesome
work,
and
yeah.
very, very timely, because I don't know if this has inspired it, but I saw a message today asking how to do this in React Native. And so, yeah, this would be, like, I'm assuming the same kind of deep link structure would work. You just need to tweak it for React Native.
I've only used with React Native Expo, and Expo has a deep linking package which makes it like super easy. So I imagine it would work with that. So hopefully they're using Expo, or they can use the Expo package.
Nice. The great thing about Supabase Flutter is deep link is built into our Supabase Flutter package, so we don't need to include any external packages. You can just use Supabase Flutter, and it'll take care of it for you. So yeah, I think that's about it. Should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it. Sounds awesome.
Let's start from being able to submit a chat within this chat app. So if we refresh,
seems logical to me.
This page,
then we can get in and start typing messages again.
We have the coolest room right here. I think it's not ordered properly. Let me fix that first. So what do we call it? Homepage. I think this is homepage, right? So we are using the stream method that Supabase Flutter package provides, where we can actually listen to real-time data. I guess this room's list isn't really using the real-time subscription, but we can still use it, use the stream method to get the initial data. And what we have on this one is order. So we can order it by created at the rooms. So now it's ordered properly, and we can dive into the coolest room.
Awesome. So just quickly on that stream thing,
yeah,
because you explained it last week, but it sounds like super, super cool, and you just like quickly brushed over probably like the coolest thing that blew my mind in the last stream. So what is this?
Let me explain it. So if you look at Supabase's JavaScript SDK, you have a select method to get data once from the server, or you have the real-time listener subscribe method to get real-time updates. But if you want to get the initial data as well as get the any real-time data after that, you have to combine these two methods together to create this, and you have to hold your states locally. Basically, the stream method combines these select methods and real-time subscription into one single method. Behind the scenes, it's using these two APIs to automatically fetch the initial data and then subscribe to any subsequent real-time data and combine them, and providing us a nice stream of data that we can subscribe to use within our Flutter app.
That's so cool. Yeah. So it's like, and it's cool that it works like without real-time enabled. Like we haven't turned on replication, which is what we use in Supabase to publish those real-time events. So it's cool that it works on tables just without real-time enabled as well. Like that means that, like all you'd have to do is just turn it on in Supabase, and then everything would presumably keep working. It's very cool.
Actually, that's a great point. So without real-time enabled on the server side, this will only fetch the initial data. It won't fetch the real-time data. It will still ignore the real-time data, but we can still use it for getting the initial data. And I've been kind of lazy. I just been using this all over the place, even though if it's just a one-time fetch, because it works and why not? So it might not be the most intuitive way. Maybe we can change it to a one-time fetch. But yeah, we've been using
But it's cool
this.
that like if down the line we decided to enable replication, like
Exactly.
this would just magically keep working.
It'll
Like we
magically
wouldn't
work.
even need
Yeah,
to change anything in our code, which is super cool.
exactly. Yeah. So, okay. So we have this rooms page. We reordered it by created at. Let's create this text field at the bottom. So what we have here is we are loading the list of rooms. Okay, I'm in the wrong screen, not the rooms page, but the chat room page. Was it chat room page? Okay, so now we are inside this chat room page, and here as well we are subscribing to this stream method to get the messages from messages table, and we are using this EQ filter notation that we use in real time. So in the stream method, we can use this real time same notation that we use in real time to filter it by certain column value, and we are filtering it by room ID in this case. So we are subscribing to all the messages in a certain room. We are ordering it by created at, and we have the data. Now, one thing we can do is, so what we want to have is we want to have a text box at the bottom. What we can do is let's wrap the stream builder with a column. So we use column whenever we want to stack two things on top of each other in Flutter. And here at the very end, we can add a text. I keep on forgetting this. It's so hard to fix form field. Yeah, how do I forget this? It's like one of those things that you do all the time, but when you're on stream, it's kind of hard to remember it. So we have a text form field. Let's give it a label. Input decoration. So label or hint text might be nice, and say like type something. Let's see if it shows up.
You have to do it the difficult way because you're both familiar enough with Next.js that as I'm doing this, you can point out all of the things that I'm doing wrong or give me ideas. But if you get stuck on something, Alaister and I are just like blank face, like, maybe that's what you want.
I'll just say push all the buttons, Tyler. Always works for me.
Yep, and then I got an error, so this is actually expected. In Flutter, whenever error happens, there's this bunch of weird thing that you have to go through. But oh shit, why did I hit save? So I can probably turn this off. I should have turned this off, but chat room page. We have to wrap this upper element with what is called a expanded. So this is like Flexbox. FlexGrow is wrapping a element by expanded. Wrapping a widget by expanded means pretty much is this equivalent to setting FlexGrow to 1. You can kind of see it here. It's flex value is 1. So what that error we were seeing was that the top element, there's a top element and bottom element, but since the top element is a scrollable widget, it doesn't know how much of the space it should take up within this space variable. So we have to explicitly tell it that, hey, please take up whatever space is available, like please take up the entire thing. So that's that. Now we should be able to hit save and we should see something. So we're seeing something. One problem is that this text form field at the bottom is kind of hidden. And what we can do with that is we can wrap everything with a safe area. So with the introduction of iPhone 10, we got this, not ordinary size, not ordinary shaped screens with different patterns or different shapes all over the place. And this wrapping everything in a safe area ensures us that everything within it stays within a reasonable viewport that's not hidden by anything else. So
can we add some padding around the edges as well to bring it in a bit? I feel like that would look nice while we're in the
do that.
area of making it fit in the screen.
Yeah.
So this means like if the keyboard pops up or something like that, everything will kind of like dynamically shrink nicely, right? Like it won't overflow like our wonderful Next.js version.
Keyboard is another different story, but
Okay.
it'll just work in any kind of screen. So we have, Android started having screens with different variations as well. So you won't have to worry about it as long as everything's wrapped in a safe area.
Cool.
So let's give it some padding. And give it some padding here. Too much. Okay. Then text form field, and we want to have a nice send button as well, right? So let's wrap this in a row, and we're gonna wrap this text form field again with an expanded so that error doesn't happen, and we can use a text button to submit our tag. Nice. I recently got GitHub Copilot and still getting used to it.
I was actually about to ask, is that all the Flutter extension that's doing that? But no, right.
It is GitHub Copilot. Yeah, I got it like 2 days ago, so
nice.
still getting
right
used
when
to
it goes paid.
Yeah. Okay, so we have something going on, right? And we can also wrap this in a nice padding so that it looks better. Okay, I think that's good. Okay.
So are those suggestions that you're clicking to add like wrapping styled elements? Is that Copilot or that's just the Flutter?
This is part of Flutter, Flutter's VS Code extension. So yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, we can click this like Bob and it'll give us a bunch of options to wrap a widget by another widget, or move it around, or flip it around, or a lot of different things. Yeah, so we have something going on, right? All we have to do is we have to get this whatever value we are entering. So let's actually, let's see, what's a good way to do it? Let's pull this thing out to a single widget. So we can do that as well. We can extract it as a widget. Give it a name. What is it? Chat form. Yeah, okay. It's not really creative, but it's good enough. Okay, we can change the name if we can come up with a better name later on. Let's make this a stateful widget because we will be holding the input value. And let's create a text controller, text editing controller. So this text controller will hold the value. I'm still getting used to GitHub Copilot, and whenever I see that, I hit right instead of hitting tab, which is what I'm supposed to do. But okay, it's working out. So that's good. Now all we have to do is we have to. Oh, is this correct? Wow, this is great. Okay. Yep. GitHub Copilot is reading my mind. Let's do that as well. Text controller clear. So if text is empty, yeah, it shouldn't really do anything. If it's not empty, we can submit it to Supabase. So Supabase from messages table and insert, right? So we can the values that we have. So is this actually correct? Wow, this is scary. Wow, okay. This is pretty good. Yeah, okay, we haven't passed the room ID, but we'll pass it along. Otherwise, it's looking good. It's looking scary good. Wow.
Happy hour, which is just like we'll sit there and press tab while Copilot does it.
Yeah,
I love it.
GitHub Copilot stream. Okay, so let's pass the room ID so that we can actually we have reference to the room ID string room ID. This will be room ID, and it's required parameter. Let's pass it.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna test my knowledge from last time. So the stateful widget. So there's two different types of widgets. So there's a stateful and a stateless widget, and this is similar to like class-based components in React, right? Before we had hooks, you would have functional components, which were like stateless components, which just basically couldn't like have a use state variable or and then you've got a class-based component or like a stateful widget which can store state. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a beautiful explanation. So yeah, this chat form, this thing at the bottom is a stateful widget because we have a text editing controller which will store the states of whatever we're typing here, whereas this entire thing doesn't really yeah, the stream builder inside is a stateful widget, but this entire thing doesn't really hold any states. So yeah, we can keep that as a stateless widget.
Is there like a performance benefit to having a stateless component, like rather than a stateful component? Like, is there any benefit to not just making everything a stateful component?
There is, but it's negligible. So yeah, it's just mostly you know, makes it look cleaner, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah,
Nice.
technically there is, but it shouldn't matter too much.
Nice. And just quickly, Oscar has just watched the previous Happy Hour stream and then flowed right into this one. So you just get like 4 hours of Flutter.
Nice.
That's awesome. And
Amazing.
Vicky is joining us again, watching live, and once again just before final exams. So hopefully you don't have any actual exams today. Hopefully you're just ignoring all of the studying that you should do. And Gerald thinks Copilot sometimes suggests too aggressively to the point that the code suggested is very vague. Yes, it can do, but this has been very helpful so far.
Yeah, so far it's been amazing. Yeah.
It's making me want to convince GitHub that I do a whole bunch of work for an open source project called Supabase so that I can get Copilot for free.
Well, I did that, and it seemed to think that I did a lot of open source work for a company called Supabase, so I've got it for free.
Perfect.
I
love that like it going paid is probably the main thing that now makes me want to get it for free. Like it's been free for months, for almost, well, maybe even a year now, and I've just been like, yeah, maybe I'll check it out one day. But now that it's a premium product, I'm like, I want that premium product, but I don't want to pay for it. It's good attitude.
Yep. So we are probably handling the error. So once we have if we have an error, we can probably handle it. So let's show a nice snack bar using our Flutter API. So we can do show snack bar, and this will be a snack bar with content being, is this a, okay, pretty close. I think error has a message, right? So yeah, that looks good. Okay, now should we just clear the text right away? I think this is good. Yeah, I think this is okay. So let's try to type something in.
Stops people like multiply, like hitting send as well if it like clears the input box.
Yeah. By the way, Alaister, do you know if there's a way to like zoom into this thing? Or is this as big as it's gonna get?
Good question.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure it out, but
Command plus doesn't work if you have the thing.
Doesn't look like it.
There was under that window one. There was stuff about Zoom.
Minimize.
Zoom is disabled.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it?
That's all right. It's just the text. It's not the not the codey part.
Okay. So is this working? Send. And it's not working because let's see if we get something if we refresh it. So maybe it's just the real-time part. Okay, so we had this problem last time, right? Where the real-time subscription kind of went off for no reason. And I think I have a pretty good idea of what's going on. So we can actually make this a stateful widget. And we are pulling this stream variable out. So let's see, final message stream equals this entire thing. And we have, right, okay. Actually, so let's create a init state where we can run code once the widget is initialized, and we are going to initialize this message stream with that value. And make this a late final. Late keyword was recently added to Dart language, where final is like a constant where you cannot modify it after initialization, but adding a late keyword makes it so that we are not initializing just yet, but it's a final, but we will make sure that we will initialize it before we try to access the variable. So it's a nice
Wait, sorry. So
upgrade.
what
Yeah,
is final? What does final mean?
final is pretty much a const in
A constant,
JavaScript.
but
Yeah.
like an actual constant.
Final is constant if constant was actually constant. Makes sense, right?
Actually, it's the other way around.
The other way around.
Const is the actual constant. Final is like the JavaScript constant. So it's like a
okay.
runtime constant. Yeah. Whereas if we use a const variable, it's a build time constant, I think, or
Okay.
compile time constant. Yeah. So let's
Right.
see if this fixes it. So, okay, it's not. Wow, we are actually getting some errors, and that is because it's not a subtype of stream. What's going on? What is going on? So this is stream of list of maps, right? And
I was about to start blaming TypeScript, and then I realized there's no TypeScript in an actual strongly typed language.
yeah. Oh, right. No, I haven't decoded the type. So okay, let's give it a type, and I think this is good. Oh shoot, no. What did I do? Didn't quite copy it. Okay. It's hopefully it's good. Now let's restart it. Go in. Okay, we're not getting any errors. Just send some random things. Okay, seems like it's working, but we'll come back to it if it stops working. I think we no longer have that issue anymore because we pulled the variable out to a state, so now it's persisted. Whereas the prior to this, we had a stateless widget, and stateless widget can re-render once in a while, and when it re-renders, the real-time listener kind of unsubscribes behind the scenes. So if directly putting this stream into a stream builder like I was doing earlier doesn't work, then you might want to pull that stream out to a single variable and persist it as a stateful widget variable. So hopefully we got that real-time issue fixed. Now I think the real-time chat part is working. We have a list of rooms. We have a real-time chat. Should we style this thing to a more beautiful
That sounds
thing?
Get some
Okay.
colors in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what
Just
we're aiming
quickly.
for, right? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. Just quickly before we jump into it, Vicky's asking why Supabase doesn't support pagination in real time. Alaister probably has a really good answer for this, but I would usually with real time, like you're receiving individual events, and so it wouldn't really make sense to have pagination because you're receiving each one individually anyway. Is that what you mean? Or do you mean
Yeah,
something?
I'm not sure of the use case here, but I think that's what I'd say as well.
Yeah. Let us know. Clarify further, but let's make this
Yeah.
look as beautiful
Is
as
this
the
one? And
Next.js app.
I noticed that we don't have a list of not the list of, but the username up there. Should we add that as well?
Let's do it.
Okay. So we have this chat bubble right here, right within the padding. Now we have a material, so it's inside the chat bubble, right? So this is a chat bubble. Let's see. Let's pull this out to a single component as well. Extract widget chat bubble. Okay. So now this is easy to work with. We have a user ID message. Okay. Let's see. I guess we can do the same thing that we did with this thing where we have a bunch of object of users. Is it like a cache, profile cache kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, we should do that. Let's see.
Do you want me to send you the code from what we implemented last time?
Actually, I think I'll be okay. So let me do some refactor. Let's include this entire thing to be right here, and we'll change this to a list of message. Okay, so that's beautiful. Not getting any errors. Yeah, that's just, I think. That's because I changed variable type mid coding. So what we can do is it's actually what's the best way to do this? You know what? Let's actually subscribe to this stream right here. So instead of having the stream directly putting data into a stream builder, I'm trying to think what the best way is. Okay, let's just do this. Yeah, we're gonna subscribe to the stream. No, yep. Okay, I keep changing my mind, but okay, let's do this. Let's do this. So we're not gonna use this anymore. We are going to subscribe to the stream right here so we can listen to the stream. We'll get list of messages, and we can do different things with these messages. So we want to hold those messages up here. So we'll have a list of message, and we'll call it messages. We'll have, okay, so initially it'll be null. And then set state. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is what exactly I
Oh,
wanted.
it added an extra S. Copilot's failed us.
Oh,
Oh, my
so
camera's
close.
on again. That's good.
So close. Oh.
Can't win today, Jon.
Uh-oh, Jon. Okay, so let's do this. So we no longer need the stream builder. We are pulling out, let's see, the list view builder all the way up here. We don't need this. We are not going to use this. We are, let's see. Let's create a method. So message list. Yeah, that works. We will create a method that will return a widget. So message list widget will return a widget like this, and we are returning different things depending on whether a messages variable is null or empty or has content in it. So if messages is null, we're just going to return loading. And it's going to be right at the center saying, okay, if there's a message but it's empty, we're just going to return noon has started. Nobody, no one has started talking yet. And then we are getting this user ID using it right here. Okay, so this should work, right? So we have that same message stream. We are subscribing to it, and we are updating the local state. One thing we have to do is this listener will return a stream subscription, so we have to unsubscribe from it. Otherwise, we'll cause a memory leak. So messages listener. And we'll import the package that we need to import. Okay, so we have a listener. We can create a dispose method and properly cancel it. Okay, so great. So this dispose method is like the return value from onEffect in React functional components, where it'll be run on when the widget is no longer in use and we are disposing the real-time listener from that messages listener. So let's see if this works. Okay, so we have the coalesce room and we are able to load the messages. Now, what we want to do is we have this list of messages, right? We also want to have a profile cache. So it's going to be map with the key of string and value of profile.
I just tested real-time's working as well. If I send messages from the
sweet
from the Next.js app, we're getting them live on. Yeah, that's so cool.
Nice. So we seems like we don't have a profile model yet. So let's create it real quick. Profile dot dart. This will be a simple class. This is correct. Let's just hit tab. Name is user name. ID. I guess we have a created ad, but we don't really need that, do we? Yeah, let's just create an object with this. And let's do required. Let's also create a named constructor. So from map, is this correct? Wow. It's really blowing my mind. Untitled. Looks good. Should we just... Wow. Yeah, let's
what
just
did we
leave it.
have in the... I think we just had no, like, rather than having untitled, I think we just had like nothing there, right?
I guess, yeah, we don't have any use case where there is no username, right? So we can just safely always make sure that there is a username. So
I was
think this
thinking,
works, yeah.
right. I was thinking if we didn't have it in the profile cache, but that's, yeah, separate thing. This is the actual profile class.
Yeah.
Right.
So profile cache, we got profile cache. We'll initialize it as an empty object, and we can import the profile model that we created. Now, within this listener, we will also fetch the profile. So let's create that method. So we are going to fetch profile, and we'll pass a user ID, right? This will be an async function where, wow, this is what exactly I wanted. Okay, so if user ID is already present inside profile cache, we don't really need to do anything. Otherwise, we want to go, oh my god, okay. Fetch it from Supabase, so we don't need to use then, but So client from profiles, this is correct. It'll be, so we need a select.
It's already indexed our Next.js version of Happy Chat, worked out what we're trying to do, and it's converted it to Flutter or to Dart.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So just to quickly explain for anyone who didn't watch the earlier streams with Next.js, when you send a message, we had two choices. We could either like wait until we had gone and fetched the user that sent that message before displaying the message, or we could display the message straight away and in the background go and fetch who that user is and slowly populate a cache of values in local, like in our Flutter application. Have a cache of all of the people that have sent a message so far. So anytime a new message is sent, the message appears straight away, and above it, it'll just it won't have who sent the message, but then it will go and grab that value from Supabase and then populate the cache, so we don't need to keep going and fetching that value from Supabase over and over and over again. So that's what Tyler's implementing here, is the ability to display who sent the message, but not need to go and fetch that data every single time someone writes a new message.
It's not really me, is it, implementing it? It's GitHub Copilot doing it. It's wow. Okay, so we have list of messages, so we have to loop through each messages to do this. So let's see, for a final message in messages. This is the most confusing part for me is, we have this for loop in JavaScript and we have for of and for in, right? And for of in JavaScript will get us the actual each individual objects within that array, whereas in for in, we'll get the index right here, right? It's not the case in Dart. So for in, we get the actual object right here, and we don't have for of in Dart. So kind of bad that I didn't
They
miss
made
that.
that just to confuse everyone, I'm sure.
Yep. Profile ID and hit one parentheses disappear. Okay. So now we are fetching the profile as they come in. We are loading the profile in, and what we can do in this chat bubble, where did the chat bubble go? Chat bubble. So we can receive that profile cache. Pro app of profile cache. Let's make this a required profile cache, and we can pass that in here. Okay, now we can, where'd it go? Okay, so padding, we have the main text. We can add a column and add another text above it with the profile cache of message.profile ID question. What was it? Loading. Okay. And it's complaining to me because type object cannot be assigned to. Oh, right. We want to access the username, of course. Okay, great. And we want to style it so that it's kind of, let's hit reload and see how it looks. Okay, it's working out great. So we have the username up there. Let's style it a bit. So text style, I'll make it gray. So colors, gray, green, gray. And font size is, okay, 12.
Daniel's also asking, is there an advantage to doing this in the code rather than in a view, referring to like using the profile cache itself? And I guess one of the benefits is the that if it's in a view, we would need to go and fetch that data again each time someone sends a new message. Whereas by keeping that user or that profile cached in the client itself, we can look up in that cache every single time a new message is sent. And rather than making another request to Supabase to get that data, we can, so the reason is that we're not making a new request to get the message each time it comes in, because we're subscribed to a real-time listener. It's giving us the event. And so the idea is when we get that event from the real-time listener, we either need to go and request the data from Supabase, or we can kind of keep this cached version ourselves. And every single time we get that real-time event, we can say, hey, do we already know who this user is? If we do, awesome, this is the user that said this message. Otherwise, at that point, we go and look up who the user is and then write that to our profile cache. So the benefit is just a performance benefit that if we already know that user, we don't need to make an additional request back to Supabase to find out who it is. And so, yeah, the limitation here is that, in real time, because of the structure of our database, each message only has a user underscore ID field. So we don't actually have the user's username. So we need to go and make an additional request to our profiles table to be able to get that data. And while we're answering lots of Daniel's awesome questions about views, he's saying, if Postgres views are created effectively as security definer, what's the best way to keep permissions solid when doing something like joining users to a public table? And yeah, I think he's referring to, in my stream yesterday, I used a view to basically expose a username and GitHub avatar from the auth.users table. The reason we could do that is that both of those things are public data, but we wouldn't want to expose in a view anything that shouldn't be publicly available. Alaister, do you have a better answer than that?
Just if you, there's in Postgres, I think 15, which isn't out yet, there will be a way to do views that inherit like a security invoker. So when those come out, you can use your security, your RLS policies on views as you normally would. Postgres will do it all for you magically. Until now, you just have to write your where statements in your views. You can still use all of the standard auth.uid functions and auth.role functions there.
And I guess if you did want to perform this on behalf of the user, maybe that's a good time to, rather than reaching for a view, reach for a Postgres function and then trigger that using RPC. So Supabase gives you a method for RPC on the Supabase client, which allows you to make a remote procedure call to a Postgres function. And when you call that function, that's being called on behalf of the, if the security level of the function when you declared it was security invoker, then it will pass through that information about who the user is. And so I guess, if you needed it to be security invoker right now, maybe take that, what you would have coded into the view and make that a Postgres function with the security invoker level of security. But if you, or wait until Postgres, the new version of Postgres
15.
comes out, and we migrate all of the existing projects at Supabase over to Postgres 15.
I think it's 15. Don't quote me on it, but I think it's 15.
Hopefully that answers the question. And Alaister, look who's having
dropped,
tech problems now.
Uh-oh. Can you still hear me at least?
We hear
you.
Look who's
maybe
handling
something in the air today. Let me push some buttons.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry, Tyler.
Weird happening in Australia. No, okay, that was great. Yeah, I honestly did not know that all views are security definers, so that's actually good to know. Okay, so I think this is pretty complete, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and style it actually. So let's see. Do we want this entire white space to be kind of this light pink?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's do
This
that.
is a
So,
beautiful, beautiful color palette. Did you want me to send you through the exact hash codes? Because I guess we don't have access to because we're using
sure.
Tailwind for the Next.js app. So
Or
um,
I think we can make it somewhat similar. So
okay.
we have colors red with 200. I think you were using 200 all over the place, right? Is this
Yeah.
good enough? Similar enough? Kinda?
Oh yeah.
Maybe not quite.
Is there a pink? Is there a pink 200?
Oh, was that pink 200, not red 200?
I think so. Yeah. It's maybe even pink 100. Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so the way we style things in Flutter is we have this theme, which is like a global CSS in a web development world where we can pass it a theme data, and this theme data has a few properties that we can tweak to change the color here and there. But this theme data is centered around material design, so it has stuff like primary color, accent color, uh, or whatever you can find in material design, it exists, but it doesn't go beyond that. So we'll try to do it mostly within this theme data, but all the other stuff that we cannot fit in this theme data, we'll do it like directly. So let's change the app bar color to a nice app bar theme. Color is background color. Colors green. Try 200. It's pretty close. That's nice. What do you think about the white text on top of it? I think it's good. I think it's okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're
That's looking
back.
great. Back.
My camera ran out of batteries.
Oh, wow.
I forgot to plug it in.
Okay, and let's style this text box a bit. So we want to add a decoration. We have decoration fill color. Color is white. And that is not working because I think color filled true. Okay, yep. So it's looking similar. It's looking nice.
Great.
That's pretty good, right? As far as styling goes. I think it's looks like a pretty good mobile version of this nice looking habitat.
Uh-oh, John's gone now as well.
Oh, wow.
This is ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to make sure mine is plugged in.
I feel like it's happening at time. Like I'm not touching anything. It's not that something's coming loose. I reckon it's maybe it's going into standby or something. Maybe I need to make sure I've got my settings set up correctly. Sorry. Continue with the app.
Yep. Okay, so what can we do at this point? I think we might want to tackle the registration part of things. So where we register. Oh wait, so let's do that redirect thing. So currently, if we go to main.dart, we have this home page set as our home, meaning that no matter what auth state this user is, they will always be taken to the home page, and there's no way to go to the login page or a register page from here. But what we want to do is we want to redirect users to different pages depending on the auth state. Like for example, if the user is already signed in, we might want to take them to the room space or home page. And if they're not signed in, we want to take them to the register page. So what we can do is let's create a new page called loader page. Yeah, loader page works. Okay. And we are going to make this a stateful widget. Loader page. And what this page will do is it'll be what is initially shown to the user while our app figures out what auth state this user is. So We are going to return this loading page. Loader page. Okay, loader page. It's the home screen. Now, right now it's just blank, but here, here's what we wanna do. So currently in Supabase Flutter, there's a way to get the auth state, and the way we do it is by changing this state class to extend a Supabase auth auth state class. What this does is it will provide us with some few methods that we can use. So for example, this unauthenticated will be called if the user was logged in, and this unauthenticated will be called if the user was not signed in. So we can do something like navigator dot push push and remove until page route.
So will
And
these functions automatically be called like when the state of the user changes, like when they first authenticate, like as soon as they are switched from being an unauthenticated user to an authenticated user, does that automatically call this function?
not quite. So this class will only exist once, and if yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what we do when a user signs out. But the purpose of this class is just to show a preloader right at the beginning when a user opens the app, and then after a second or two, when auth state is verified, it'll call the appropriate method and it'll redirect the users to different pages. So this is just for the very initial loading. It's not really taking into account of what happens after user signs out, but we can forget about that for now. Yeah, it's gonna be complicated. But so what we're gonna do is we want to redirect them to the homepage, right? So okay, that is good. Now, when user's not signed in, we want to take them to register page. Okay, so that's good. Let's leave these two for now, but we'll come back to that later. And we will display a nice preloader at the middle. I always use a nice variable whenever I use a preloader, so I am blinking out what an actual preloader class was. Let's see, I have a nice cheat sheet right here. If I can.
Jon, your camera is just in protest today. It's like,
oh, I out again.
It's not happy.
really not happy.
The progress indicator. That's what I was looking for. Okay. And okay. Showing a circular progress indicator right at the middle of the screen. That's good. So the idea of it is that user will be taken to the screen after a second or two. One of these methods will be called and it'll redirect the users to that page, except I have to also call the recover Supabase session method. This method is telling Supabase to go fetch the auth state and see if this works. Hopefully it does. Okay, so you saw that it was kind of quick, but if we hit refresh, yeah, okay, it's happening real quick, but Supabase has figured out what auth state is for this user, and it has called, where did it go? This one, unauthenticated method to redirect us to the homepage.
Nice.
That's working out Great. Now we have this redirect going on. Now let's talk about deep links to bring the user back to the app when they come back from a email confirmation. So there's a few things that we need to do beforehand, but let's jump into my cheat sheet again. This one. So if we go to the Supabase Flutter, and let me bump it up a bit. So Supabase Flutter package page, we have an instruction of how to get started with deep linking. So right here, deep link config. So the way Supabase Flutter works is it uses this additional redirect URLs to redirect the confirmation URL from the default site URL to something else. And we'll set up deep links so that when a user opens this URL, they will be taken back to our app. Now, the way we do this is, okay, and I'm just remembering right now that in order to demonstrate this on the simulator, we would have to open my email account from the simulator, which is going to take some time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to try to log into Safari and do all that. So let's actually not do that.
I'm sure. Well, no,
yeah.
we could demo it by once you sign up, you could grab the email, the verification link from your email, and paste it into Safari on the iPhone.
Okay, let's do that. So, okay, let's configure it. So we can find instructions for Android and iOS. So let's go over to the iOS instruction. Then, we might do the Android part if we have time. So we want to paste this thing inside our info.plist file. So info.plist right here. We want to paste this at the very end within this dictionary. That, and what we want to have is we want to have our scheme right here. So we are going to just use whatever this thing is using. io.supabase. Okay, is there somewhere that I can copy this from? Not really. Okay, io.supabase.flutter demo. io.supabase.flutter. We can go with that, or happy. Okay. So that should work out, right? Okay, so that is good. Okay, so once we do that, I think we have to kill the simulator once and we have to restart it because we've changed the configuration. And another thing we have to do is go into our register page. Now, when we hit that register button, if we could find it right here, okay, sign up. So the sign up method has a auth options that we can pass to. So let's try to tweak that as well. Auth options is type auth options, and this auth options has a redirect to that we can pass. So what was it that I put in? Okay, ir.supabase.happy chat. Okay. Login. Yeah. Back. Okay. So now what we have to do is we have to take this redirect URL and set it as the redirect URL within our Happy Chat Supabase project. So if we go to auth settings, we have this additional URL field. We can either leave this localhost. Yeah, okay, let's leave it and hit comma and add that URL right here. So what this will do is it'll allow us to set the redirect URL to be this URL. So with this configuration, and I think the simulator is already back up, we should be able to
Have we put in a logout button?
Right, we have to do that, huh? Okay, let's do that real quick in this.
Maybe we can just throw it somewhere, like in either the top bar or the bottom of the page or wherever is easiest.
Yep,
Oh, actions. Flutter's got us covered as per usual.
Text button. Nope. Client sign out. Okay. Let's do it. I think there's gonna be some weird behavior once I click. Oh wait, no. The simulator hasn't started yet. Was there error? Let's see. Okay, while that is doing its thing, I think we got everything done, haven't we? Except if we can figure out what's going on with this one. Operation. So I think I've screwed up something about within the info.plist file. Let's see.
It's always hard with XML.
It is, yeah. We have. That's correct. So let's see what the error is saying. Unable to read property list from file. The operation couldn't be completed. Huh. Okay. This is going great.
I ran. Did you do a full restart of the whole build?
I thought I did.
Or did you need to copy that whole plist thing, or was there already a plist and you just needed the inner part? Like we got plist at the end.
Right.
Is that what it was asking for?
I think, yeah, there's something weird going on. Yeah.
Or is it just the key and the?
Exactly. Thank you, Alaister.
I did it. Well, don't thank me yet. I'm just guessing.
Was it me or was it Copilot doing that? I don't think it was me.
Yeah, blame Cole. Oh, Jon's back. Whee!
I'm back, maybe just temporarily. For some reason, my camera battery is not charging while it's plugged in and just keeps dropping out. So we'll see. But I'm still here. Even when you can't see me, I'm here in spirit.
Nice. Okay. Thanks, Alaister. So we are back at it. Let's sign out and refresh it because we haven't really implemented any nice logic to redirect users. Oh, okay. This form is kind of ugly, huh? We can take care of that, or yeah, we can take care of that if we have time. But let's go to, okay, I can just hit register, right? So register with Tyler 4.
Make sure you remember your password.
Yep, it's gonna be a super secure password.
While you're registering a new user, we have Nerlip is saying a random question: how many front-end users can be subscribed using real-time subscriptions for Supabase before we start having issues? Is this infinitely scalable? That is an interesting question. I think because we're using a separate server to pump out all of the real-time subscription events, so it's not like it's reliant on your Postgres database. So we have an Elixir server which is running that, which to my understanding could support an insanely high number of users, right?
And well, yeah. So at the moment, you've got a single Elixir server directly linked to your Supabase instance, but I won't say anything because I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. Stay tuned, because on the infinitely scalable side of things, we've got something coming up very soon, which I think will answer that question. So just, that's all I'll say. Just keep an ear open, keep an eye out.
Yeah. And Daniel has again jumped in there saying, I don't know about concurrent users, but the real-time engine is built with Elixir, which is, basically built like for this purpose. It's built for lots and lots and lots of concurrent connections. So, stay tuned for the marketable tagline, infinitely scalable, potentially coming soon.
It'll be exciting.
And Afsa is saying that you're doing an excellent job talking, Tyler. You are, doing incredibly well, especially with
I
very
agree.
little input.
Am I doing?
From,
Oh, okay, great.
from Alaister and I. Killing it.
Great. Okay, so
One last
sorry.
one.
Yeah.
Wish Solider is calling us out that it's 1:20 a.m. Well, how is that happy hour? I mean, like if you're young enough,
Where you sign in
isn't
from?
that the happiest hour? Like,
Oh yeah, for
all
sure.
those young kids are out clubbing and doing all
sure.
kinds of things at 1:20 in the morning.
So, well, I must have gone being from straight to young to old then, because I skipped that phase.
Yes, as did I.
Okay, I think I have the URL copied right here. And I don't know why my simulator is in Japanese. I don't have anything set to Japanese within my MacBook. So I don't know why it's in Japanese.
It knows
But
you're in Japan. Oh, look
yeah.
at that
Oh,
pop-up
nice,
though.
nice. So for those who knows Japanese, it says, do you want to open this in Happy Chat?
Kanseru. Is that what the first one says?
Yeah, this is cancel, this is open. So let's hit open. I really don't know why it's in Japanese. But okay, we have opened it and I totally forgot to do one thing. So
Sorry, we can press the button again.
right, yeah. Oh, would it work? Because we already confirmed that email address. I think it's just gonna give
True.
us error. Yeah, okay. So another thing we have to do is within this register page, we have to make this is home state register. Register page. We have to make this state a auth state as well, or Supabase auth state. And we are going to add all the missing overrides. For this time, yep, and right here is where we want to handle the do the same thing, I guess. So once we are logged in, navigator of push, we want to basically redirect the user to push, and we move on to, so we want to redirect the user to the home page. So material page route of builder context home page. And that. Okay. So this should do the trick, I think, if I'm not correct. And one thing that we also have to do is we have to start the deep link observer. So in order to do that, we can do this start auth observer, and then we have to, in dispose, we have to stop auth observer.
So
So
does
this,
that auth observer include a deep link observer inside it?
yeah, it does. Yep. Yeah, thanks for pointing out that pointing it out. So start auth observer does include a deep link observer, and when the page is no longer in use, we have to dispose it. So let's actually register with another person. 5 keep the same super secret password, and I'm gonna go ahead and fetch that new link behind the scenes securely from my email inbox. Let's open Safari. That is for some reason in Japanese.
I like it. I was trying to read the kanji, but failing miserably. I'll say it's too small.
Yep, that's the reason why, right? Otherwise,
yep, definitely. Not just because I can't read it,
Okay, let's open it. And it's saying I do want to open this using Happy Chat. Let's open it. I feel like I forgot to hit restart on this side. So it
classic.
didn't run the new code that I implemented.
Third time's the charm.
Yep. Let's see. Tyler.
While you're stepping through that, Daniel is sassing Alaister that at what age do you need to legally change your last name from Young to something else?
You know, I did not get that joke at all. Like, went straight over my head. Oh yes, my last name is Young. Hilarious. No.
I thought you were gonna say like, as in it's not like you've never heard that joke before.
You know, you'd be surprised. I don't really get too many jokes about my name. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll be Alaister Old at some point.
Okay.
Well, why are the animations so slow?
I really don't know why. You know, I thought I used to have an old MacBook, and I thought it was just because my MacBook was old, but now this is a brand new MacBook, and it's still the same speed. So maybe it's just the way it is. Yeah.
All right, come
Nice
on,
and
third
slow.
time. Let's go.
Here we go.
I'm seeing things being logged.
Great.
Hey,
Okay,
look at
so
that.
yeah, we are signed in. So this is how
That's
users
cool.
can come back to their app. Okay,
That's so
so
awesome.
this is
And
great.
so cool that that's just included in Flutter, the ability to deep link
Yeah.
to things.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Okay, and this is a perfect time to talk about this, I think. But all the hassle that we went through, changing this auth state to a Supabase or state to a Supabase auth state, and having these override methods, was not very popular among the Flutter developers, and yeah, there was a lot of feedback around it. So we are actually working on a rework to not use these. So this is something that we have to cover in the future episodes for sure, right? But we are doing a major rework within the Flutter SDK of Supabase so that it'll be even more magical. It'll like you won't even have to do these in order to handle your deep link. It'll just be automatically magically handled behind the scenes. Like there's obviously gonna be an API to like properly redirect people to the proper page. But yeah, there's some exciting things going on in the Flutter side of things at Supabase. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Did you work for a company like exclusively writing Flutter before this? Or is this
it is
all just
good.
like in your spare time you learned Flutter to
No,
this extent?
I actually was a full-time Flutter developer 2 companies ago. Yeah,
Okay, right.
yeah. So and in that during that time, like I really wanted to use Flutter in my job, so we really pushed Flutter really hard to my boss, and we ended up using Flutter, and I got to be the team lead of that small engineering team developing Flutter full time. So that was really fun.
Sick.
Yeah. So I think there might be some minor issues with the styling of the register page and the login page, but overall, I think it's looking pretty good. Let's get rid of the sign out button just because, or should we just leave it?
I think it looks all right. It's
Yeah,
useful.
okay. Yeah, then we can make this one super with auth state as well. And we can implement a unauthenticated to redirect the users back to the register page. Version remove until okay.
Wish Solidor is also saying they have at college test tomorrow. So yes, definitely go and study for that or sleep. But curious what the final result of this app is going to be. So yeah, it's going to be similar to, well, yeah, I mean, pretty much where we're up to. We're going to be able to create rooms, which are private rooms with other people, and then be able to write messages in those rooms cross-platform. So either from the Next.js app or the Flutter app.
Right.
Yeah.
We haven't implemented create rooms, huh? I forgot about that. Okay, let's do that. So in Flutter, we have this nice floating action button that GitHub Copilot already knows about. We're gonna do that. Let's see. So once we, let's just leave that. So after we press, let's take a look at what it looks like. So we have this nice button at the lower right corner. And we can just use that as a create room button, right? So we can do supabase.instance.client dot RPC. And what was the method that we had to create room? Was it create room?
Because this was a
Yeah.
Postgres function, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Create room is the
Create
RPC
room.
_ room. Yeah.
Okay. A response on that. And sync. Okay. Now, what was the return value of this create room? Was it?
I think a room, just a room. A room. Did we already have a
room
model
ID
for
or
that set up?
room?
I think a whole room from
Whole
memory,
room.
but
Is this the
I
return
could be
type
wrong.
of create room?
Yeah.
It gives
Okay.
back rooms. So a
Whole room.
A whole room.
Okay.
Even though if it was multiple rooms, it would be set of rooms in Postgres land. But
True.
because we're just returning a single room, it's just the table name, which is rooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Proper error handling in place. Snack bar. Our content. Error. Error message. Okay. Now, if basically we want to create room object, room from map data. Okay. And we want to navigate over to the chat room page, right? Chat room page for that room. And we have a room here. Why is it complaining? What's the problem here? Oh, because we have this constant right here. Okay. This should be good, right? I think it's good. Let's try to create a room. Let's refresh it just in case. Nice. Wow, just like that. It's working.
Awesome. That is so cool.
Flutter
I mean,
too
I was
fast.
making a big claim that like we would be able to just use the same Supabase backend without making any changes across these two platforms. But like we've actually done it. There hasn't been anything that we've exclusively added for the Flutter app. That's very cool.
Nice, nice.
You
Okay.
need to be able to invite us to
people,
the
right?
window.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see how quick we can do that. Thinking of the UI, what's a good UI to invite people?
I don't think we're concerned about good UI after what we did on the web.
How dare you?
In that case, yeah, let's just have a text bar up here. Yeah, let's just do that.
Or can you add it easily to the nav bar, like next to untitled? Could you have a button that's like invite users or even
like open like a dialogue?
Yeah. If that's easy to do, to just pop up like a modal or a dialogue that can take in a username.
Let's
extra
try
points if you want to implement the bit that we didn't implement in
the search.
Yeah, or not even a search, just like maybe like a list of names, and you could just like tap them and it would invite them to the room. But no, just an input box if that's easier.
Yeah, big old pop up. That's what we should have done on the web side of things. Is use the, you know how we rename the room. Like, why did we put a text input onto the page when we could have just used another pop up?
We could have used prompt over and over and over again.
For every interaction on the page, just a prompt.
The browser has it included for a reason. It's the way that you should be collecting input from users.
Do you know the sad part about that is that like that user experience is actually like better than some websites that shall not be named that I've been on recently.
Yeah.
Okay, so invite. So we want to open a dialogue, right?
And just quickly, Afsa is wondering what if we keep RLS disabled, does it become vulnerable, or will it act as a regular Postgres database? So yeah, if we had left RLS disabled on our tables, so this is something that we did very early on when we were building the Supabase backend, is for each table that we created, we enabled RLS, which denies all actions by default. If you had left that on, it means if someone got access to your anon key, like your Supabase anon key, then they would be able to have free reign over. I don't think, not the structure of your database, is that right? But just the content, like they'd be able to insert new rows, delete them,
Yeah,
update
insert,
whenever they want.
update, whatever.
Yeah. And so by enabling RLS, we deny all of that by default, which makes it safe to use the anon key, and use that in our client applications, or use it like we were using it in our Next.js, exposing it to our Next.js client with the next underscore public underscore thingo. All of that is safe because we have RLS enabled. If you didn't have RLS enabled, then it wouldn't be safe to connect to or to expose that anon key and connect from your browser or from your client directly to Supabase. But you could implement your own like middle tier, like API layer authorization if you wanted to. So like implement all of your communications with Supabase in like your API routes, for example, if you were using Next.js. But yeah, RLS and writing policies allows us to kind of write those access rules in the database itself, so we don't need an extra layer to enforce the authorization rules.
Nice.
And that's what I love most about Supabase. Every time I think I might need a backend for some projects, Supabase simply handles everything just by enabling RLS. RLS policies were like, a big game changer for me as well. I had never used that style of authorization before coming to Supabase, and it just like instantly made so much sense that like just the client code is so simplified when it's just like, you already know who I am, so just give me the bits of data I'm actually allowed to see. It's a super good way to implement authorization.
Yeah, and my favorite part about rollover security is that it works as a filter, so you don't even have to, filter it by where clause or EQ clause on the client side. It just, you can just load the entire data and it'll just give you back whatever you can access.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Okay, so while we were talking about rollover security, I've gone ahead and created a nice dialog with some text form field, and it's complaining to me again because I haven't done the proper thing where I map this with expanded widget. Okay. Great stuff. Oh, shoot. Okay. And I'm just noticing that there's no way to get to the login page. On the register page, we have to keep registering. So let's add a button below it. By the way, how are you doing in what time? Are we pretty close till the end?
We have 15 minutes probably until
Okay, we can probably finish it up.
Yeah, but while you're implementing that, Afsar is just asking about remix actions and loaders. Would this expose the anon key? So yeah, that's a perfect example where actions and loaders in Remix, they run on the server. And so it's totally safe to use your anon key and not enable RLS and just enforce your own authorization there. So in your loaders or actions, say like, is this user allowed to see this, or only select rows where the user equals this user. You can do all of that authorization in your actions and loaders, and then you can just use your anon key. It's still probably a better idea if you're going to go that route to still enable RLS so that everything's locked down by default, but then use your service level key in your loaders and actions. So you should never use your service role key on the client side ever, because that just gives you, it completely bypasses RLS. But using that on the server side, so in your API routes in Next.js, in loaders and actions in Remix, in like a Node.js server or a Rust server or anything like that, anything that's server side, you can use your service role key. And that would probably be a better option rather than using the anon key. Server side, still enable RLS and then just use the service role key to connect to Supabase, and that will bypass RLS.
Nice. I'm noticing that on logging into this app, it doesn't redirect us to the home page. Okay, I'm back inside my home page now. This one's not the one that we wanna do. So we can create a room. We can invite people. Okay, so inside chat room page, we can invite people. So on press. What do we want to do? So we want to get the user name of the user. Can't remember. How do we handle invite? What was it? By first fetching the user ID from the username and then inserting that inside our rooms participants table, was it?
We just had a the input was just taking in their username, and then I think we were just doing a lookup directly for the user from the profiles table based on their username. And then the ID that we had there was the same ID as the auth.users table because it's got a foreign key relationship to that table. So then we were using that to insert them into the room.
Okay, great. So this is gonna be username, so text form field. Let's see. Okay. So we can get the username by accessing the form value. Now we can include that as well. Let's just not do that. We want to fetch the data from profile table, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just the good old
profiles table. I use a select and EQ. Just ID. No. Username is username. Execute and great.
And then we're just doing .single because it's grabbing one back. Is that a concept that exists in the Flutter SDK as well?
Great point. Let's do that.
Cool.
.single. Now, can you figure out about handling error properly? I just want to get this thing done.
So then we were doing another insert into the room participants table. So from room participants, inserting in. We needed to insert the profile ID and also the room ID.
Like this?
Copilot knows.
Room ID is, I think, I have this. I don't have this right here, do I? Okay, I'm gonna have to get that, but we can get it. Profile ID is ID, so that's amazing. Okay. Now, why is this complaining? It's because child is required. Copilot sometimes has extra brackets, don't they? Okay. So let's receive a room ID from our parents. Make this required. Scroll up here. We have the room ID and we have the room. Yeah, we have the widget.room.id. Okay. And the reason why it's complaining is because, okay, great. I think it's set. Now, lastly, we can dismiss the pop-up by doing this. I think we're good. Let's try to invite users into this thing. So let's hit a refresh. Let's do a refresh again. Okay, so we have an untitled room. Okay, I want to add you two. What are usernames again?
Mine is just Jon, Jon. Oh wait, no, I'm Thor. I'm Thor.
Or
That's right.
are you in? I guess I haven't really added anything to.
So this is the
Shukert and Thor Schaeff.
untitled room.
Yeah.
Oh god, we have like 8 untitled or more, like 10 untitled
It
rooms.
should be at the top, right? It should be at the top. Also, by the way, you're muted.
Oh, my username's just Alaister. Sorry. That's all I had to say was my username.
Neat. Okay. Are you guys finding yourself?
I don't think I'm in.
Hmm.
Maybe do some logging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and last time I debugged this app like a amateur where I didn't use a breaking point to use it. I was so used to doing stuff in the web that I totally forgot about breakpoints. So, okay, let's see. We got this room ID, and inside data, we are
You do have
getting
an ID.
yeah, so we are inserting it.
Howard?
Looks like, okay, I guess we can look at the errors that we're getting back from this.
Yeah, because that looked good.
Yeah. So, yeah, we can just rerun this thing again. See what the error is, Alaister. Now, if we... I forgot to wait for it. Okay. Start it again.
It keeps getting rid of your await. Did you not do .execute? Is that what you're missing? .execute?
Oh, right. That is what was missing.
Flutterland.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. This is another hint, but you might not see this execute for a long time, thanks to one really amazing contributor of the Flutter SDK. Okay.
We're breaking again.
Nope, it's working. I think an invite has been sent to you. Looks like. Oh, great. And we have 4 in as well.
There you go. Done in time. Flutter only takes 2 episodes, whereas everything else takes 7.
Thanks to, the backend being complete on the Supabase side of things, right?
I feel like you even like the flow for like inviting people and all of that stuff is even nicer than it is in ours as well. Oh, actually, you didn't implement room names.
That's something, yeah. That's something, that can be one incentive to use the web version. I don't know. Do we want to do that? 7 minutes? Okay. Should we do it?
We don't have. It's up to you. We got 7 minutes. Yeah, let's do it. We can do it. We can show how. Because it'll be the same, like similar to the invite, right? Like we'll just
copy paste the whole thing. I don't know where you're gonna put the button.
Yeah,
Can you
that's
make the untitled text tappable?
Let's see. I never tried that. Where is it? It's kind of hard to find things with this enlarged thing. But okay, so room name is right here. Let's see.
6 minutes.
Text button.
Wow, if that's allowed, that would be hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it's allowed, but I don't know if it's gonna look nice. Okay, it's okay. We can tweak the styling always. Text style. make the colors white and font size to, I don't know, 20. Okay, great. We're back at it now. We can show dialog, and this will display a nice looking simple dialog with title of change room title and the body content. Title and children. Children will be, I guess, this one. Copilot. Oh, no. Text. Okay, so let's actually pull this entire dialog as a single widget. We can call it a
Edit title or something.
Yep.
I don't know.
Funny, right? How developers waste time thinking about how to name things. Okay, so
the camera. For one last time, Jon's camera's got to go. Couldn't have lasted till the end of the stream.
I was thinking, yeah.
What's going on in Australia?
I was literally just thinking like, oh, this battery has lasted again. Maybe the problem is fixed. Maybe it just wasn't like the charging plug wasn't plugged in properly or something like that. And no, of course not.
You shouldn't have thought about it. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah. Okay. So we have a text form. Text form. Why is it not working? Oh, because I have children. Okay, text form field and a text button. Save. Okay, and wrap this guy up with a expanded. How many more minutes do we have?
3, but you know.
Let's see. See if this is doable. So we have a nice dialog popping up, I think. Okay, change room title. Now we can dismiss that for now. Create a text title controller, text editing controller, and pass that to the text form field so that we can extract the contents of it. I think we got one extra bracket there. On GitHub Copilot is broken. Okay, great. So on pressed, just a simple update, right? So
you're just right.
GitHub Copilot is okay, but it's
I think you
I
need
just want
to
the first part.
Make the buttons in Japanese as well. Say one can say kansuru, and the other one can say, I don't know what you say for save.
All right. Should we add a cancel button as well?
No, don't. I'm not adding scope. Don't even worry about it. You can cancel just by closing the
yeah,
the
exactly.
dialogue.
Client update. Oh no, I forgot the from. Are we gonna make it in time? Rooms.
1 minute 20 seconds.
Update. Oh my god. Got to execute.
I think they'll forgive us if we go a couple of minutes over. I think it'll be okay.
And don't forget the condition as well. You need
right. I always use upsert. Can we use that? I like it just because I can throw in data as if it was on insert, and I don't have to worry about room ID. And is it name or title? Title, right?
Oh, it might be name.
Maybe it is name. I think it is name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this text value? Okay. I think that's it. Let's Try
the
except
buttons.
Something else. Save. And I forgot to dismiss it afterwards, but I think so. I think we have to refresh
if you
it
reload,
afterwards. Yeah.
the state. Unlucky.
Oh my God. Have we run out of time?
9, 8, 7.
Oh my God.
9.
We didn't forget execute. We got rooms. We're using upserts.
I still have to do our summary at the end. We're not even nearly done.
Oh no, poor Josh is going to be sitting in Discord waiting for me on my next meeting. Where's Alaister? No,
Feel free to run away.
I told him that I'd be a few minutes late. So.
Cool. Afsa also had a question about Flutter for Tyler. So does it not enforce you to define a return type for a promise?
Yeah, some of the limitations that we have in Flutter side of things. Yeah, at the moment there is no way to type it, so everything's gonna come back as a dynamic. And we have rollover security policy denying the update. Is it because we're using upsert?
Yeah, try update.
Yeah,
maybe
update and EQ. Yeah, so yeah, that is a limitation. Because we don't have
after update.
Yeah, we don't have interface in Dart, so that's the reason why. Yeah.
Does .eq need to come after update?
Okay, let's see if that works.
Alaister, I think you're muted.
You don't want to update the ID, sorry, in the update as well. That might be what the RLS policy is yelling at. You just want to update the name.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Doesn't have any error. Yeah, so if we refresh it. New room.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, great. I think that was a
feature complete.
Solid. Yeah, feature complete.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was an amazing ride. We have a list of rooms. We can join a room. We can chat with our favorite buddies. And it doesn't have to be on web. It can be on the web. It can be iOS, Android, or we can even create a Mac app or a Windows app as well.
Yeah, that is awesome. And yeah, as we were saying before, so like Flutter, you can actually build like native apps. You can build, as in like native like Mac OS and Windows apps. You can build web apps. You can build iOS and Android apps. It's super cool. Very
nice. Well done, Tyler.
Awesome. Yeah, good job. Yeah, round of applause for Tyler.
I think it was a great round. Yeah, great work. It's all thanks to the amazing Supabase, right? It takes care of all the heavy lifting, and I just have to create the client, which is always easy. So, yeah, amazing.
Did very well. All right. So to wrap up, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy. Oh, I'm gonna have to like look over here so it's not weird. All right,
swing
there
round.
we go.
I like this angle.
Thanks. Yeah, you get to see slightly different curtain on this angle. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned lots about Flutter. To see more awesome content like this and get notified when we go live or when we put out a new video, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and click that little bell. It's youtube.com/c/Supabase. Come follow us on Twitter, and you can click through here to get to our Discord and join 7,295 people now who are talking keenly about Supabase. So it's an awesome place to come and post what you're working on, ask any questions that you have. Super awesome active community helping everyone out, which is very cool. Follow Tyler for more awesome Flutter content and everything else awesome that he's doing. He's at DSHUKERTJR or D Shukert Jr. Alaister is at Alaister Young. If you can't find Alaister Young, try Alaister Old, and you might find him there. Follow me at Jon Meyers _IO, and thanks heaps for watching. We will see you next week.
Send us your app ideas on Twitter for what you want us
for
to
sure.
build next. If you've got a, if you want us to build your startup for you,
yeah, that's right.
That would be a great stream. Yeah.
It's going to have terrible UX, but at least the back end will work well.
Yeah. If you're happy with our like pink and blue and green styled application, then definitely pitch your ideas. But yeah, if you want to get some free labor from the Supabase team, just pitch your startup idea. We're going to build it open source, so you'll be able to just clone the repo and build your enterprise. That's a very, very good way to do it. But yeah, stay tuned on the Supabase Twitter and also probably my Twitter. We will put out when next week's stream will be, but it's likely to be a little bit earlier than this one so that our US friends can join us on Thursday afternoon / evening. But yeah, thanks heaps for watching, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye-bye.